All right, good morning, everyone. So today my name is JULIANI Putri Utami as a presenter in this ICOLED Seminar Internationals. And now I want to present about my research thesis that entitled of EFL Teacher Strategies in Teaching Speaking Skill. The first is there's a research background. In this research, we're gonna check the general issue, which is more talking about the definition of speaking, supported by expert opinion, and a specific issue talk about the teaching speaking in a middle school, especially in the subject is SMA Karya Skadal, which is the subject as a research place of this thesis. And the abstract of this thesis is about a descriptive text, and which is explain about the teacher strategies and use some strategies, which is there's demonstration, descriptive objects, and role play, and also play games. The research problem is based on the background. The research problem is what are the teacher strategies used by EFL teachers in teaching speaking skill, and the research purpose is obtained to find out the teacher strategies used by EFL teachers in the teaching speaking skill. And there's a significance of the research. There are practical significance and theoretical significance, which is practical significance focused to the researcher, to the teacher, to the student, and to the other researcher, and the theoretical significance, which is focused to uh, All right, good afternoon, good morning, everybody. My name is JULIANI Putri Utami as a presenter in this ICOLED Seminar Research Design. And today I will present the result thesis of mine, the entitled of EFL Teacher Strategies in Teaching Speaking Skill, in Teaching Speaking Skill. The research background. In the research background, I take a general issue and specific issue, which is general issue more talking about the definition of speaking as support by expert opinion. It is specific issue talking about the teaching speaking in the middle school as the subject of this research, and also uh, support by the expert opinion too. The abstract of this research is the abstract of this research is aimed to find out the teacher strategies in teaching speaking skill and get information about the strategies used by EFL teachers as the research purpose. Speaking skill, this is research was conducted using a descriptive qualitative study, especially at SMA Karya Skadal. The subject of the studies were two English teachers at SMA Karya Skadal. In collecting data, research use observation, blueprint, field notes, and record observation in this research. And in a data collection, researcher using also thematic analysis to determine the meaning and the theme of the research subject and can interpret in the text based on the data it was found. The strategies were the three. The first is descriptive object, the second is role play, and the last one is games. The next is form of the research, methodology of the research. This research form is very important to start research because in course of the research, the researcher proposes to research design is coding take crosswalk theory in 2014, and the subject of the research is two teachers of SMA Karya Skadal, which is a propose sampling is technique of making samples with specific consideration. The technique of the data collection, there are two techniques of data collection. There's direct communication technique and indirect communication technique, which is direct communication technique is direct observation, and indirect communication technique is indirect communication technique which use question open-ended questionnaire. The tools and the validity of the data collection. The tools, there are three. There's observation, questionnaire, tryout, just to make the data more valid before researchers do the research to the participants. The technique of the data analysis. There are the three techniques of the data analysis. The first is data collection, data reduction, data display, and then researcher can make a conclusion or drawing a very. The last is research finding. The research finding in this chapter, the researcher would like to provide data considering the problem statement. The data was collected through observation and also questionnaire Indonesia, using Indonesia. The object in this research to describe strategies here for teachers in the teaching speaking skill in applying the strategies in teaching speaking activities in the classroom. The first is demonstration of the teaching speaking skill. From the observational data the researcher has collected when the lesson first began, one of the EFL teachers, Mrs. explained the general structure and offer opportunities for the student to identify them through the number of questions, encourage students to reflect. After that, Mrs. instructs them to look of any challenges vocabulary in the dictionary. One of the EFL teachers also asked students to hold discussion about the learn in making question and having conversation in group in the 3 to 5 peoples. According to the theme and deliver from the data has been obtained through the observation and questionnaire, during the learning in the class, it manifests the role play game. The lesson plans that have prepared in learning and teaching activities strategies carried out by those in this lesson plan, and then namely the teachers ask students to present group work, but EFL teachers adapt more to the situation in the classroom. And with the same, one of the EFL teachers is Mr. D, began the lesson with introducing himself and allowing the student to, a chance to speak with one another before the class officially began. And the second strategy is discussion. Both our EFL teachers agree that discussion strategy is used by EFL teachers with the aim that students can analyze and statement a problem in a group and make students more active in speaking. The role play. One of EFL teachers, Mrs. A, often used these strategies when teaching speaking in the class. Mrs. A asked students to discuss and form groups, then presented in the dialogue in front of class and gave a student feedback regarding pronunciation error and language procedures. And one of the EFL teachers, Mr. Ye, used another strategy which is called intend to improve the quality of students speaking so that students were more active in speaking English and helping students regarding learning directions, analyze topic, also students' opinion by speaking in English. Describing object. Based on the result of observations and after obtained through questionnaires and observation, Mr. Yi used this strategy when he was in the class, but one of EFL teachers, namely Mrs. also used this strategy with almost the same attention, asked the student to analyze the topic and explain, earlier describe it, and ask student opinions, but if the student does know about the meaning of the word, teachers Mrs. A asked the student to open the dictionary. And the last strategy is game. The two EFL teachers have their own way, so the student don't feel bored in learning. But the games is still relate to learning being given, especially in English. One of EFL teachers, Mrs. A, used the ice breaking. Meanwhile, the one of EFL teachers, Mrs. G, used another way so the student don't get bored, namely making wrong sentence or wrong example and ask the student and being able to see the student understanding and see the student responses regarding the correct statement of the sentence. The implementation by EFL teachers in teaching speaking skill. There's a demonstration in teaching speaking skill. The first component talk about how EFL teachers model teaching speaking skill technique for their students as they learn. And the strategies used by EFL teachers in teaching speaking skill. After the finding of this research has described clearly, the researcher explained them in detail. In this session, the discussion about the question of the research, which is explained in the questionnaire. And implementation strategies by EFL teachers in teaching speaking skills based on the research that has been collected on this occasion. The researcher want to discuss about the process of obtaining the participant answer to the question. And a conclusion and suggestion. The conclusion. The data obtained show that EFL teachers at Semakaris Kadau have same strategies but also a different strategy in the teaching speaking skill, and which is they have their own way. The researcher found that every strategy aspect used by EFL teachers, both of the EFL teachers who teach in the class are dominant in using the discussion, describing object, games, and one of EFL teachers use of role-play strategies. Both our EFL teachers almost have the same goal, such as to make a student talk active in English. In the suggestion, there are suggestions for the EFL teachers, to the school, and to the other researchers. This is the end of explanation of my thesis. thesis. Thank you so much. I give back to the moderator.